We know that 3 people were shot. One of those people even died from their injuries, but this crime scene really shows you how chaotic this entire situation was. If you look closely, you'll see bullet casing after bullet casing. These winds were really heavy. You can see here where it literally crumbled this aluminum siding, wrapping it all around this pole. And it's not the only damage that's been done. Imagine this, you walk into Subway expecting to buy a sandwich. Instead, you wander upon chaos with chairs flying and a crowbar being used as a weapon. They're going in the back of abandoned homes and pulling out any type of unwanted items, bringing them right out here to the front. The only thing is, when people pass by, they want to add to the pile. But if McDonald never would have captured this footage in the first place, there's a big chance this eyesore wouldn't have gotten the small amount of treatment that it received. And take a look behind me right now. You'll see what appears to be the aftermath of a violent shootout. This raffle has some parents upset, and it doesn't take much to see why. At first glance, you'll notice a Glock 48 9mm handgun being listed as one of the prizes. Neighbors tell me for just a little over an hour, it felt like this street was Armageddon. You can see the windows of this home shot out by the man now identified as 46-year-old Adam DeWalt, who clearly had no fear as he blindly shot an assault rifle from the inside of his home. Their goal for being here today is to show that whatever us guys can do on a skateboard, they can do even better.
I got to meet a sister who was standing next to a sister who was gunned down. She was the first victim. And all I could do was hold her and cry.
For the people of Dayton, the pain and shock of America's latest mass shooting is still very fresh.
That is the most upsetting thing. 3 shootings in 1 week. I mean, that's so sad. That's insane. Well, I don't know what that means for the country.
Right here in their own backyard, 9 people lost their lives in the senseless shooting and more than 24 others injured.
But it's very loud by my window, like loud bang, 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 bang.
But even through all the chaos and wondering why it happened, workers of this food truck are doing all they can to help. They're donating all of their proceeds to the families of the victims.
I think that if you just unite and you come together, that's what Dayton does the best. That's why this is so sad, because this makes people afraid of their own city now.
This will go away. We will remember. We will rebuilding, and we'll be back.
The healing process won't be easy, but with the help of each other as a community, Dayton will recover. Victor Williams, 19 News. If you thought that the Cuyahoga County Jail was in enough trouble already as is, there turns out that new video has surfaced showing a guard beating on an inmate for close to 7 minutes. Reports say this is what led to a violent beating at the Cuyahoga County Jail. Video shows this man throwing what appears to be a banana peel in the direction of Correctional Officer John McLeod. Another angle shows the aftermath. The officer gets into the inmate's face and the two exchange words. The inmate clearly tries to walk away before he's placed into a brutal headlock. A short time later, he manages to get away before round 2 is seen from a different standpoint. McLeod charges towards the inmate, flinging him across the floor, kneeling on the man for several minutes. Other inmates casually walk by as if nothing's out the ordinary. Moments later, and McLeod's knee is still firmly placed into the inmate's chest. He's then dragged across the floor as he continues to fight to get up. Officer McLeod then decides to now place his knee on the inmate's head, where it remains for even longer. All in total, the bout lasts for nearly 7 minutes, till McLeod simply gets up and walks away. According to reports, he didn't tell his superiors about the fight until over an hour later. He claims he blacked out and couldn't recall any of what happened. The former officer has now resigned. And you can see this full video on our website, cleveland19.com. Now, McLeod has not been criminally charged in this incident. However, it is unclear at this moment if he will be allowed to work anywhere else. Live downtown, Victor Williams, 19 News. Last time the Cuyahoga River caught fire was in 1969. Since then, it's been 50 years of progression to ensure that this never happens again. However, tonight's Burning River Festival is just a backdrop to showcase how far we've come.
It's a good time here. Good music, good food. I've been coming the last few years.
The annual Burning River Festival really brings out what Cleveland has to offer, but it's a stark reminder of a much darker time. a time when the Cuyahoga River was so polluted that it caught fire on several occasions.
The EPA, the Clean Water Act, this was the impetus for it. It all started here, and you would never guess that to look at it now.
Back in 1969, you couldn't possibly imagine anyone getting on the water for a boat ride, but now things have certainly changed. Take a look over here. People are now eating by the water.
Great to see everybody out there kayaking, boating, not sticking their hand in and coming up with a handful of goo like the pictures showed.
I come down here kayaking all the time, so it's nice that this is all fixed up and it's coming along great.
Clevelanders are holding on to hope that in the next 50 years the river will be even cleaner.
Cleveland area could be a center for clean power, for electric vehicles, energy efficiency.
And more good news, we're now told that there are several different species of fish actually able to live in the water, so it's a very huge difference from where we were decades ago. In Whiskey Island, Victor Williams, 19 News.